This podcast is a production of Unfiltered Studios. If you would like to know more about joining Unfiltered Studios, please visit our website at unfpod.com for more information.
The teeth, the fur, the undersized member.
Hey, that's not mine.
And yet he still manages to score at will.
Shall we shag now or shall we shag later?
Is he the chosen one?
Yeah, baby.
Austin Powers, tomorrow at 8 on Spike.
Only sailors use condoms, baby.
So,
hello, Mr. Powers.
hello.
Hello, Mr. Powers.
Hello.
I am Dr. Evil. How are you?
Tonight,
I don't know, but I happen to think that if you have an issue, here's a tissue.
I
tonight.
don't like you, horny baby. Randy. Oh, I must say that this is very naughty of me.
Naughty. Tonight, we lock and load our penis pumps. Wait. Tonight, we celebrate our sexual independence day. Is that better? No.
No.
But we got James Enstall from the Geek to Me Radio. He has interviewed everybody from podcaster James Gabsey to filmmaker Martin Campbell to John Cleese to voice actress Tara Strong to Burt Ward and Claudia Christian. Welcome.
Hello, thanks for having me.
You interviewed John Cleese?
I did, yes, about a year ago.
You lucky bastard.
He was phenomenal.
Bloody
Yeah,
hell.
but what have you really done?
That's about the only thing I can really claim fame to. Everyone else is, local poets and things. It's nothing really exciting.
Hey, radio is fun. Radio is very fun. And
I would just ask them. So why did Privates on Parade do so bad?
I asked him about a couple of things. Stuff of his I grew up on, like how to, what's the name of the VHS
How to
now?
annoy people?
Yes, how to annoy people.
That's one of the best things I've ever watched in my life.
I used to have it on. I still have it on VHS somewhere. I'm not sure
I
where
have the
I put
tape
it.
somewhere, definitely. We would just put it on. Sometimes we would actually put it on to annoy other people. It's like, you don't find this funny? Go away.
It's a good way to weed out the weak. Show them that video. If they don't laugh, they're done.
But you are Geek AF, so you claim fame to your name, and you always have a fun just gallery of questions and projects for the celeb to jump on and promote. But before we get into this, how did you get into radio, and why did you embrace it?
Cliff notes, I went to a place here in St. Louis called Broadcast Center with the idea of getting a job in radio. And then I found out, radio doesn't actually pay bills. So I kept my day job and just kind of did radio at a couple local stations as a side hustle. And then one of them said, hey, you know what? You're kind of funny. Leave your mic on while we do this. And that led to me doing my own segment on his show, which spun into getting my own show.
Really,
Nice.
baby?
Nice.
I love it.
WYNO. Okay, no.
Good morning, but it's time for some wacky phone calls.
I thought you were going to do your Casey Kasem impression.
I'm Casey Kasem. And today I'd like to read you the story about a letter. It says, Dear Casey, we just lost a dear friend of the family. Well, you could say he was a... Wait, I got to go out. I have to go into a song after a dead dog letter? Jesus, God almighty. Yeah, you get Doug on the phone?
You realize I was the voice of Shaggy, don't you?
And Robin. And
Right.
I
yeah.
always wanted to do a scene where it was Robin, Shaggy, and Alexander. The three of them talking to each other. It'd be Casey Kasem talking to himself.
I'm Casey Kasem, and I host this interview with three of my famous characters. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Casey Kasem. And now a request and dedication.
Don't ask me about that song that's about sex. That's nasty.
And
It
now
reads,
I'm
Dear
Casey.
Casey, It reads, "Dear Casey, I hate the world and I hate everyone in it. I wish everyone would die in a fiery fireball of nuclear flame. I wish to get off this planet, but I know I'm not able to. Casey, could you please play? Could you please play Wind Beneath My Wings?"
Oh my word!
I'm
No,
Casey Kasem, and I have a special letter here from somebody. It says, "Dear Casey, your kids are going to be out of the will, and I'm going to take everything you've got. Your wife, Jean. Now, could you please play Skyrockets in Flight
Oh my
by the
word!
Starland Vocal Band?"
Speaking of which,
It reads,
we
"Dear
will...
Casey, it reads, Dear Casey, could you please take out the garbage?" And I respond,
Oh,
"Fuck you,
God.
you annoying bitch."
I'm sitting on it. Yeah. We're gonna have plenty of dark off-color stuff. So if you haven't listened to the theme song, viewer discretion advised, especially with what we're talking about tonight.
Yeah.
But it's great to have you on here, James, because I knew you were an avid comedy movie fan. I was like, I really was looking forward to this topic because this is just a kind of a rarity. Like, it is a comedy film franchise that really does bring a bunch of perfect crowds together. All your moron friends, come on over. All your bright-headed guys who like another lot of sexual wit, come on over. And I'm sure my cousins saw this. They were more of the Ocean's 11, Rush Hour, Men in Tights kind of crowd. Like, they liked all kinds of stuff from funny adventures to outrageous heist movies. And Austin Powers is kind of in that between that. Like, if you weren't watching, the Friday movies by New Line, you were probably watching one of their other hit franchises like this. Like, I became a fan of virtually everybody associated with this franchise.
Well,
everybody from Seth Green to Heather Graham to Vern Troyer, who plays Mini Me. It's like so many awesome people. And
Well,
yeah, go ahead.
just the thing has its roots. This whole franchise has its roots in Mike Myers. When he was a kid, he would watch the Sean Connery Bond movies. But not only that, all
Our man
those
Flint.
Our Man
Yeah.
Flint. But
And
there
it's
was also,
funny, it takes you multiple viewings to realize, oh my
Yeah.
God, they just took a frame from that physical gag where he's choking out the, henchman. That's a
But
James
there was
Coburn move.
also roots in Inspector Clouseau with Peter Sellers, the Pink
Oh,
Panther
absolutely.
movies.
Definitely
Mhm.
Blake Edwards. Definitely
But
that British wit. Yeah.
The thing I kind of link it to also is the ITV shows when that
Mhm.
were over here in England, over here in America. Like, there was a show called The Avengers with Patrick McNee and Diana
Mhm.
Rigg. There was The Persuaders.
That's kind of why it's kind of
But
aged so well. Like, they shoot it just like a 70s movie on film,
yeah,
Yeah.
So
but
it has that look of an older movie than it actually is.
but his
I'll-
look. I'm sorry.
I'll-
I'm sorry.
I'll take it a step further. There's another ITV show that is directly, I think it comes up at least more than a couple times in the entire franchise. His outfit, his robe, his pajamas, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's lifted directly from the opening sequence of an ITV show called The Protectors.
Oh, another
Yes.
Robert Vaughn.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and not only that, the character, the way he dresses, is from another show that Peter Wingard was in, who played Clytus in Flash Gordon.
Yes.
There was a show that he was in, two of them actually. There was one called Department S, which was like a X-Files ish kind of like
Oh, wow.
but he played a character called Jason King, who was a real like kind of foppish kind of character, and then they spun him off into his own series called Jason King.
I
And he looked
remember it vaguely. It was by some of the same people who worked on The Saint, kind of.
it was Monty Berman, and it was a lot of it had it was the same people, basically the same people did, like, The Protectors, The Defenders, all those shows. And
Yeah.
what happened was that the character himself, Jason King, if you look at the way Peter Wingard looks in some of those pictures,
Maybe
the
some of the
ties to the way-
same set design, kind of.
no, the way the character looks. And then not only that,
Art
the
directions.
glasses and everything, that's a nod to Harry Palmer, Michael Caine, in like the Ipcris File, Billion Dollar Brain.
I'm glad you brought that up, because
Yeah.
when I saw him in the third one, and in Kingsman, I was like, he's playing Harry Palmer, and everyone's like,
Yeah.
who the fuck is that? I'm like,
I would like to say I got a good paycheck.
I'll got a damn good paycheck. I gotta just go for the other supporting cast just for this. Just like, even when it's really just like a simple gag scene, like I loved everybody in all these movies. Charles Napier's the commander in one scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Masioko before Heroes is here. Nathan Lane, Tom Cruise and Gwyneth Paltrow play the fake Austin Austin girl. Rebecca Romijn, Tim Robbins is the president. Kristen Johnson from Third Rock from the Sun. And I'm just gonna say, when Mindy Sterling unfortunately leaves us, as Frau, Dr. Evil's assistant, I'm gonna cry like a baby. That woman is so clever.
Oh, it's Frau Farbissina. Thank you very much.
Farbissina.
Farbissina, yeah.
And also, you forgot Danny DeVito as a mini-me.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot. Yes.
Can we not watch the third one anymore since Kevin Spacey's in it? Is this movie also canceled?
But that's the utter beauty of it. Like every person I have seen this with, like even people who don't like James Bond, now sexually derogatory those can be, like they love these movies because just the wit and gags are just so on point. Like I've never seen anyone walk out and say that's just fucking rude. Like everybody seems to really. I mean, come on, you got Michael York as the guy named Basil Exposition.
That's old.
So I got to ask you, James, since you're the biggest fan of risque humor here, arguably, who's got a better name? Fuck you,
oh my gosh,
fuck me, or a lot of vagina?
I remember seeing the original Austin Powers because I'm very old. I saw it in the theaters, and it was one of those moments that when she said her name, I actually did a bit of a spit take with my soda. It came out of my mouth because I was laughing so hard. So I think that just because it got me, I wasn't expecting it was really good.
Absolutely.
I have to go with her.
Of course, there was also so which is it? Swallow or spit?
Yeah, Robin Swallows and Robin Spits.
Oh my god!
I think Gwyneth Paltrow's character was Dix Enormous, which I thought was very clever.
There was another character named Conjunctivitis or some shit like that. There was even Felicity Shagwell, obviously, but like, I mean,
what was Beyonce's character? Cleopatra,
Foxy Cleopatra. And so that was what was interesting too. Like, I'm not a fan, but I thought she worked well here in this movie because she's totally playing out the whole Pam Grier kind of exploitation persona if she were a spy. And Clint Howard was funny, but a lot of people forget it. Will Ferrell's in the first two as Mustafa.
Yes, he is
the terrorist associate,
and he has one of the best death scene in the very.
It
first.
Is so hysterical,
and it goes on forever. It's brilliant.
I think I'm all right. Yes, I seem to have not fallen.
That's why I think it works so well too. Like it just the action doesn't overblow the physical gags. Like I love Michael McDonald as the one no guard, from Mad TV.
Yes.
He even got a stunt credit for that damn role. Think about it. But David Koechner and Jeff Garlin, Muse Watson plays one of the KKK guys. You might know him from.
Wait, who's he playing? He plays
one of the KKK guys.
Wait, what KKK? I don't remember the KKK.
In part two, there's a brief scene where there's a Klansman.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah.
And
oh shit, yeah.
I forgot that Mike Haggerty from Friends was also here as the peanut vendor. And Mimi Rogers was really a lot of fun. For Babylon 5 fans, a lot of vagina was on there as Londo's love interest, but people also forget that the one guard gal who they engaged with at the Swingers Club in the first movie, that's Patricia Tallman, telepath Alita. But I just thought it was so funny, it's just a lot of B5 fans didn't realize that when they're first viewing, they're like, hey, Lita. I'm like, oh, she's done everything, guys. She's in the Night of the Living Dead remake. Come on. Mm-hmm. But this made me fall in love with Elizabeth Hurley, that is for sure. And they're not awkward to watch with anybody. That's the other funny thing, too. Like, with all the gags, everyone's just like, it's fine. It's fine. I've never seen anyone walk out or go or cringe like, I don't want to watch this with my parents. Like, it is on point. Like, people love it. It's like an SNL skit.
At the time when it came out, I was living with a couple of guys, and
just a couple of guys.
But what happened was that I got on VHS because that's the cool thing at the time, and one of my roommates who loves the Pink Panther movie said, "I don't want to watch it. This is just too stupid." And I was just sitting there cracking up at every joke because
Really? Someone thought it was too dumb? Come on, man.
yeah, and he's a smart guy. And like I said, he loved the Pink Panther movies. But for him, this was
Still
just a
not
bridge too far.
saying
For me, it was just a perfect homage / parody of the spy movie genre, especially from the 60s, 70s aspect of it. And it hit all the right notes for me. As somebody
Dr.
who-
Evil is my favorite James Bond villain.
We'll return after these messages.
If you like small town mystery, crazy news, and wild history, then the Florida Men on Florida Man podcast is for you. Each week, Josh Mills and Wayne McCarty bring you the absolute best Florida has to offer. So if you're looking for a show that's safe for the family, but funny enough to help you escape everyday life, then listen to the Florida Men on Florida Man podcast. That's Florida Men, plural, on Florida Man podcast.
Hey, it's Brent Pope, the host of Breakfast with Brent Pope. You've seen me on some of your favorite TV shows saying things like, "Give it up, Jimmy. You got to sink this putt to win." On Breakfast with Brent Pope, I sit down with guests from the entertainment world, and we do it all over breakfast. Or should I say Brentfast? Every week on Brentfast, you get inside Hollywood info and tips, great breakfast wrecks and booty debates. Most of all, you get the most delightful 30 minutes of your week. So dig in. It's Brentfast time. Listen at Brentfast.com, Apple Podcasts, or wherever fine podcasts are found.
The biggest comedy of the year is now available in a handy take-home size.
I shall call him Mini-Me.
All the laughs.
I love you.
All the love.
I love you.
All the mojo.
I've lost my mojo.
All in one box. And it's yours to own for only
$100 billion.
Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me.
Yeah, baby, yeah.
Bring home the mojo on VHS and DVD.
Lower the globe.
Lower the globe!
Oh!
Beginning Friday, March 4th on TBS. For 3 straight nights.
1975. Yeah.
We can catch Goldmember together.
Yeah, baby. You're insane. That's the way. I like it.
You have the right to remain sexy, sugar.
I hope there's a search involved.
Austin Powers in Goldmember with 3 chances to watch. Beginning Friday, March 4th at 9 on TBS.
If you look at Dr. Evil changes his appearance. Because remember in the first movie, his eyes are different than the last movie. It's just, he looks...
Was that deliberate or were they just funning?
I think they were deliberately doing that just to piss everybody off, because remember Blofeld was always somebody different in every movie.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. And I mean, they mainly took from You Only Live Twice, but that is a good point. In other movies, he was not played by Pleasance, but I did forget that aside from being a Blofeld parody, the mannerisms and way he was talking was Mike Myers stealing Dana Carvey's impression of their old boss, Lorne Michaels.
Yeah.
And it's so fun.
Yes.
But I think that's also why it worked well. Like, we all like Myers. We also know what an ego asshole he was behind the scene. Jay Roach was like the perfect one to just kind of come in. He's a rising comedy director. And just, before he goes on to the Meet the Parents franchise and doing HBO political dramas, like this was his baby, and he somehow knew how to shoot this movie, and balance all the different personas, let everyone get their screen time in. And I think that's what's great about it too. It's an ensemble. Even though it's Myers' baby and he's playing 3 characters, you could easily watch it just for Mini-Me or just for Vanessa or just for, Scott Evil. There's so many funny characters.
But the thing I was thinking about the other day was you got to realize Mike Myers was coming off of Wayne's World 1 and 2.
Right.
He had just done So I Married an Axe Murderer, which is a very underrated, funny movie.
Yeah, it's a funny
Terribly
movie.
underrated. Yeah.
He does all these other movies that are fun, but just get critically ignored, and then this comes out.
He did So I Married an Axe Murderer. I think that was 94?
93, I think.
93. So he kind of takes a break for a little while because they did the second Wayne's World.
Right.
And then...
It's a hit, but
it's a hit, but not as big.
Some feathers behind the scenes.
Yeah. And then what happens is like when he did So I Married an Axe Murderer, he played the father and the son. So it shows you he could do 2 characters, right? So then with this, he would do 2 characters, And then he would go on to do the second one where he played Fat Bastard. So then for the third one, he plays Austin Powers, Dr. Evil, Fat Bastard, and God remember, yes, God remember, yes.
Smoking a pancake.
And even
smoking a pancake.
I feel like, would you like a pancake in a smoke? A crepe in a bong? Cigarette in the bong? Waffle in a joint?
I mean, he pretty much brings anybody who was from, Wayne's World onto this. Anyone who he knows on SNL, he's like, come on over. He's like, Michael McDonald plays various people, and then he has Rob Lowe, he has Haggerty. He's like, come on over.
Robert Wagner was the big surprise.
It really was. I mean, and you're playing number 2, and then you get Fred Savage as number 3, and then you get. But
No, if I remember correctly, there was the lead scene from the very first Austin Powers movie that also featured Rob Lowe.
Yeah, he was playing a younger number 2, I think.
Yeah. No, that was number 2. I'm thinking about number 1 because there was a deleted scene where it was like a bachelor party or something like that.
Yeah, he was in some other deleted scene, but that might be the one.
Yeah,
but the thing. Yeah.
So how I got into this. There was this thing that was dope, which I still have no issue with, called DVD at the time. And my father and all my uncles were the kings of just lending each other just funny stuff and recordings to each other. And it's like, my dad gets all these on DVD. He has an action figure that he never unwraps. He collects it of characters from the movie. And this was one of those, and it's like, even people who were like, oh, it's a risque franchise. It's like, it's just one of those, like, everybody would check it out. It's just like, this was on every channel back in the day. Like, I still occasionally will see it on VH1 or one of the other channels. Like, you'll find it funny, James. It was still very funny even when it was on ABC Family. They just would take out a few lines of dialogue. You just think they're at a club as opposed to, oh, that's a swinger club.
Well, and the funny thing, you mentioned the action figures. I remember collecting those, and the one of Fat Bastard. They had it for general release called Fat Man because they couldn't put Bastard on the label. So I had to go to Spencer's Gifts at a local mall to find Fat Bastard.
Yeah. I remember that very, very well. Yes, because I had Dr. Evil, and it had the little things. Why must I be surrounded by freaking idiots? And I would play that. I would play that incessantly at my job. And people would go, Jay, can you please stop that? Why? Don't you like it? The thing I loved about Austin Powers, the first movie, was it's the beginning I loved. The opening credits.
Oh,
yeah.
Because there's a lot of things, but there's a scene he does where he's reading the newspaper. He pulls the newspaper down. He's wearing a fake goatee. That's from A Hard Day's Night.
Yeah, a lot of Beatles references.
Yeah. But that
Myers did properly thank Sean Connery when he had his AFI special back in 06. And most people thought that was kind of dumb. I'm like, I think that's cool. Like, he's acknowledging what he's parodying. Is like, without you, I don't have another famous franchise,
I saw an interview that Michael Myers gave. I think it was leading up to the second movie, and he mentioned he was at a party with Sean Connery, and they were kind of joking because Sean Connery had I can't remember what movie was coming out at the time.
I think I might have seen that. That was like a Howard Stern interview or something he did.
It could be, something like that. And he said that we talked to each other, and Sean Connery said, "Great, I'll be in your movie if you'll be in mine." And they shook hands. He said, "Good luck with the film, old boy."
I think I know what movie it was. It was probably, I'm thinking carefully, either the League, the one where he was in
it wasn't
League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
No. Let me look it up. Sean Connery, Mike Myers movie.
98 or 99.
In 98, Sean Connery was doing the one with Jenna Rowland and Ryan Felipe, Playing by Heart.
Yeah. Well, but Myers isn't in that. So
no. I think Myers did a movie with him. I think there was just kind of one of those friendly things he says, like, "Yeah, sure, I'll be in your movie if you're in mine." I don't think they ever actually end up doing a crossover.
Yeah, that's what's so weird. And this is years before he makes all this Shrek money, does the Inglourious Bastards cameo, and but so here's the ultimate question: like, he plays all 3 of these characters to a T, and they edit it so well to where you don't even realize they're not filming it at the same time that he's in the room, playing the other character.
Did someone mention the room? Oh, hello, guys.
Yeah, you could have had a Tommy Wiseau type alter ego on there. So Evil is absolutely my most favorite quotable of the three characters. Who is yours favorite characters that he plays?
I love Dr. Evil. I love Dr. Evil, and I loved Goldmember.
What did you say to me, you little shit? Freaking laser beams attached to their heads. They're sharks.
Can we have laser beams attached to No, doll. What about sharks? Can we have sharks?
Sharks with laser beams.
The thing I love about Dr. Evil is there are these parts where he's so candid, like where he's dancing to Beyond the Sea by Bobby Darin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and that's what I loved about the albums. The albums were the perfect tie-in. I mean, Lenny Kravitz does the freaking music video and that had Heather in it, and then that's the American Woman music video. But then they had some of the funny cover songs that, it's just the acoustics and Dr. Evil singing over it. I'm like, see, that was a perfect. That was back when the album mattered as much as the box office movie it was part of.
Yes. The part that got me the most was when they're having the group therapy. It's like the details of my life are inconsequential.
And it's Carrie Fisher.
Yeah, exactly. Because luge lessons, summers in Rangoon. At the age of 13, I was given my own scribe. At the age of 15, I had my scrotum ceremoniously shaved by a woman named Valma. You don't know how good it is to have a shorn scrotum. And I'm like, we're in the movie theater. Me and this girl are in the movie theater, and this was a date. But like she was looking at me, and she was laughing because I was laughing so hard. Because the speech that he gives, my father was at a pension for buggery, and he made outrageous statements like he invented the question mark. And he accused chestnuts of being lazy.
No, but the thing that sets that up so perfectly is his line right before he goes into all that is, the details of my life are actually quite inconsequential.
It's like and then it's like okay, so how boring was, and then he tells this whole story. He's like no, the boy is I am trying to kill the boy. I am,
He's quite astute. I really am trying to kill him. He's quite astute.
And that's why it was brilliant having them on Jerry Springer in the sequel. Like that.
Yes.
That's why it's like, see, but it doesn't interrupt the movie, even if you're not a reality show guy. Like, it was just the perfect, I mean, it's kind of like how The Sopranos is like the #1 show doing all these awkward therapy sessions. They're doing it, and it's just leading to more gags and more gags. But like you say, it is so funny. Like, people who generally would cringe or be like, did I go to the right movie, or is this okay? It's like somehow these movies, just the minute you hear a single line uttered, like, it lowers your defenses, it lowers your shields, and you just go along with it instead of, oh fuck, this is funny, but I gotta watch it when someone else isn't here. There's no, even just the utter humor. Like, it's just even if you don't get it right away, don't worry. Just watch it 20 more times and you'll find an Easter egg each time. Like, it's never a forbidden fruit or a taboo thing where you're like, oh, I gotta, sneak this into the house,
Gentlemen, we've gone through preparations A through G. Now we're going through preparation H.
We'll call it the Alan Parson Project. Just call it Operation Wang Chung, ass.
My favorite. He goes. I just want to zip it.
Yes,
you're the Diet Coke of evil. Just one calorie, not even enough.
You guys would love being in our house. So, actually, using a is a perfect command you can train for our dogs, and so yeah, all the time we would do the. But we do it like evil, and every once in a while we do that.
Scotty don't.
Scotty don't. When a proper milk comes along, you must sip it.
Oh, and I gotta love when Scott is coming over here, and Evil's like, "Oh, we're just started. We do some family bonding time. I mean, if that's what you want to do with your life and all." No, Dad. There's a cool titty movie on Skinemax now. I want to watch.
That's how you want to live your life, is it? He starts to hit the button to drop him into the...
Yeah. And just the way...
Look, I can be hip. I could do the Macarena. Hey, Macarena.
And then the way Farbacina just always comes in yelling, just always yells his name, and he comes in there like, what?
I'm assuming you guys like Mindy Sterling. I'm assuming you guys have seen Alan Tudyk's Con Men, yes?
Yes.
No.
I have.
I think she got an Emmy for that. I think she won an Emmy at least once. Maybe she might have gotten it twice. I know she was nominated both times. I know she won both of them. But
I didn't realize
it's so
she was
brilliant.
in that. But yeah, that was a good show.
It was amazing. But she is just so. She's one of those actors who is so brilliant in everything she does, but doesn't. But she gets snuck in different roles that you don't recognize it. Recognize her. There's another one, Lynn. I think it's Lynn Shay. I think that her name is. She is absolutely brilliant too in different roles.
Yes. People only know her now as being a scream queen. It's like, guys, she's been here since the 70s. She's done all kinds of movies and shows.
She was in. There's something about marrying, I think it was. But she was also in another movie, FDR American Badass.
Oh, I forgot.
Wait, what's her name again?
Lynn Shay, the one.
Who was she in Something About Mary?
Oh, trust me, you'll know when you know. Like look her up now.
Oh, the landlady. Oh shit. Oh god, yeah. All right. Okay.
But I like that contrast, Tom. That I do think she is kind of like Mindy. Is like because. You look at her credits, she's done everything, Rio 911 to, iCarly, and you're just like, she is that kind of, she doesn't need to be a big level, person who's known for The Office or something, it's like, she's exactly where she wants to be, and she's in her 70s, and I'm always like, how does she do that? Like, she's done all these different chameleon, but always just wacky roles. You're just like, of course she's here. And she's funny.
The thing that got me the most was when they did the tribute to Sid and Marty Krofft, they had someone come out dressed as Witchy Poo, right? And I'm thinking it's Billy Hayes. It wasn't. It was Mindy Sterling. She did the whole voice and everything down pat. Like she got like if you watch her during the TV Land Celebrates Sid and Marty Krofft during the MTV the TV Land Awards, and they
can do great voices. Yeah.
She did that, and then I saw her on. I think it was Ant Farm. She was the principal on Ant Farm on Disney, which I used to watch. I used to watch it, So she was the principal on that show. She got sick.
Yeah, I think she overcame some breast cancer and some stuff.
Cancer,
I've heard her talk on podcasts, and she's always a hoot. Like she's just on fire.
She was part of the Groundlings, from what I remember.
Yeah, much like Will Ferrell, she was part of. She got her training from there. Yeah.
So, I mean, she was just one of these people you have to watch and be like, oh, okay, I know, oh, okay, all right, okay, So I get it. I get how it is with her. She's she's from Paterson, New Jersey.
Oh, really?
She's from my neck of the woods. Yeah.
Well, next time she's at a convention, you'll go get her, cowboy. There's some other funny cameos. Who would have guessed? News reporter Katie Couric plays a prison guard. I think in the third movie.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, I love when they did it. They're in the prison. Dr. Evil and the Mini-Me, and it's Zeus. It's Tiny.
Yeah,
Lister.
Tiny Lister. Yes. Well, definitely a top 10 role for him. Like he is, and just when Evil is, has the bandana, is going all. What's up, homie? Is just like, oh my god.
This one's for me. This one's for my homies.
For me.
Crystal.
I still put Tiny Zeus Lester as one of my favorite fictional presidents because he played the president in The Fifth Element. He did a great job.
Yes, he has.
Loved him in that.
But he can't hold a candle to President Camacho.
Oh, from the
Idiocracy.
Idiocracy, yeah. The Mike Judge movie. Yep.
And Harrison Ford and Air Force One. Some of my top fictional presidents we had. Get off my plane.
Martin Sheen and everything.
Yeah.
I gotta say, Mimi Rogers is really badass in this. Like she really worked well in the comedy in the first one, I think. And I think she, even though she was the straight person to him, like it wasn't in a way where like it doesn't work for the comedy. Like she's just like gives so many just like shit-eating grins. She's like, I can't believe you said that. I think this is it. Like everything was just so polished. Like I mean, we're talking about all the other, unfortunately, obscure 60s shows that they're referencing, but like the art direction really went to town in every movie, and I think that's why it never really fell out of steam. Like, and then when you would see people do their variation on it, like I'm looking at you, Pluto Nash, it just went awry because you're just like, okay, the gags aren't working. I'm not sure how much of it is the actor misbehaving versus the studio notes, but somehow they just left them alone. They came in on budget and they made millions and $1 million. Yeah. And
1 billion, cajillion, zillion, billion.
and it's funny you guys were mentioning it's funny how you guys were mentioning the weapons. Is like the weapons really are a character in and of themselves. You're like, you're gonna do that for world domination? That's great. Welcome, Gil.
Hello.
One podcast to the other.
Yep.
Sorry, you were gonna say real fast, James.
Oh, I don't think I was gonna say anything.
Oh yeah, other James.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, okay. No, don't worry about
I thought you were James. James Bond.
I self-identify as James.
So, what movie are you on yet?
Oh, we're not really going for it. We're kind of jumping all over the place on why the franchise has been successful and the funniest weapon and villain scheme. JJ, what out of all the crazy contraptions Dr. Evil comes up with, which one do you think just like is the icing on the cake? Me.
I'm trying to think. What was
it's already Mini Me. I guess you could count as one of his weapons.
Mini Me was great because
he has the middle finger of death.
Yeah, I think the one that got me the most was when he was trying to do. What was he gonna do? I forgot the third one. The third one was
it's like they weren't having a mutiny, but it was like what was his plan? It was really nutty.
I think that was the one with the Preparation H one.
Yeah, that's the Preparation H was the program.
But the one I love was just, we will take hot magma, and he's just going magma like that, and he's got the radiation.
Yeah, the tractor beam.
And the first one, he's got the first one with the radiation suit on. And it's like the clear plastic one, and that's right from Dr. No. That's right from Dr. No.
Well, and you're talking about that Preparation H. There's a scene where they're talking about calling it Preparation
H. Operation Ice Cream.
Well, no. He goes. They were talking about Preparation H. He goes, on the whole, Preparation H feels good. And then Scotty has a field day with it.
Yes. Oh my God. I completely agree. It feels good on the whole.
And then he says, we'll call this the Death Star. And he's like, what?
Or the Alan Parsons Project.
Yeah, the Alan Parsons Project. Yeah. Oh, God.
Man.
I can remember.
There had to be a Pink Floyd reference in there somewhere, man.
I kind of wanted to be like here right when you guys started, because I wanted to say, allow myself to introduce myself.
It's fine. We made a penis pump joke and then we made a few other jokes, but it's all good. Did you guys know that Demi Moore was a co-producer on this?
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't.
I had to rewind the tape. I'm like, that can't be right.
Yeah. She was part owner of the now defunct Moving Pictures that produced her movies now and then, and If These Walls Could Talk. And after they, despite making millions with this trilogy, they filed Chapter 11. But I mean, it is funny. Yes, the Death Star. I mean, it wasn't just crazy 90s cartoons doing their spoof of Star Wars. It's like you gotta have a James Bond spoof making fun of Star Wars.
It's more like an Arman Flint or Matt Helm type of thing, actually. But
yeah, Matt Helm is definitely perfect. Is like, even though that's kind of campy already and kind of trashy, like it's the same kind of style that they're referencing. I have fortunately never encountered anybody who was just like, that was never funny. I've encountered people who are like, Mike Myers overrated, outside of his franchises, but I've never seen anyone like never laughed once at any of these movies. I'm like, and I hope I never have to, just for stars, but
I would like to complain about the Austin Powers movies.
Oh man.
Did any of you watch Mike Myers' new series on Netflix? I say new, it's like a year and a half old now, The Pentaveret, which is a throwaway line that he uses from So I Married an Axe Murderer.
Yes, I heard
I
about
had no
I heard
idea.
about that.
Yeah. What was this called again?
The Pentaveret.
Yeah,
About a group of wealthy people who control the entire world. And he does it as a throwaway line when he's playing his own dad in So I Married an Axe Murderer. He talks about there's a group of the 5 wealthiest people in the world, those Pentaveret.
The Queen, the Gettys, the Rothschilds, the Gettys, the Rothschilds,
the Pope,
the Pope, and Colonel Sanders before he went teach up.
So he does a whole Netflix series about the Pentaveret, and he plays a reporter looking into them and trying to check in. There's a couple of Shrek references that are brilliant. And if you like the Mike Myers type of humor,
and
my wife doesn't even like Mike Myers that much, and she thought it was actually pretty funny.
And it's currently on Netflix.
Wow.
It should be, because it just came out like a year and a half ago. I'd be disappointed if they got rid of it.
Wow.
Pentaveret. Okay.
I don't know how I have not heard of this. What the hell?
Yeah, he's got some pretty decent players in it too. Like some of the people he brought in. Like, oh my gosh.
That's great.
The Love Guru came out in 2008.
Yeah.
Mariska
Gete. Yeah, that film.
Some people don't like it, but I got a kick out of it.
It's all good. We all like infamous movies, dude. I was there. I saw freaking Master of Disguise opening weekend. So what do I know?
Oh my god.
Turtle. Now, did you guys know that Jim Carrey was going to play Dr. Evil originally? I had heard that, but I totally had spaced on it, like because
I didn't know that.
I don't. Is it established as fact? Because I can see Mike Myers pushing this movie, trying to play all these characters, because he always.
Cider interview for an article called "Lost Roles of Jim Carrey." It doesn't say that he was ever like. Well, actually, it does say that like he was interested, but he had to turn it down because Liar Liar was a big schedule conflict. But it would have been cool, but it would have been so different, you know. And I think that's why we like it so much. It's, you know, Myers is, again, we were talking earlier how like Eddie Murphy, after a while, he couldn't do the multiple character act anymore, but like Myers was doing a good job of imitating what Eddie Murphy's shtick was for a while, which is I'm going to play multiple people in one skit, you know?
Yeah.
Which begs the question of how many SAG credits did he get on for all those?
About 4, yeah.
And I liked with Austin Powers, like starting with Austin Powers, they did their own play on Pussy Galore.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of vagina.
A lot of vagina, yeah.
Time Out New York critic Andrew Johnston, I think, states this very well. For the original movie, the film's greatest asset is its gentle tone. Rejecting the smug cynicism of Naked Gun-style parodies, it never loses the earnest naivety of the psychedelic era.
Yeah. Yeah, I like I said, we saw this in the theaters, and I remember the whole theater was laughing. I don't remember anyone,
I don't get it, man.
We probably had a group of like 15 people, and we were all cracking up, and we looked around as everyone else was laughing. So I don't think it was a movie that anyone didn't enjoy when it came out. And obviously, it must have done well since it spawned 2 sequels.
George S.
I would
Clooney
like
was
to
doing the score.
complain about the humor from the very first Austin Powers movie.
Well, you think about the fact that he's doing a kind of a spoof on like Our Man Flint in those movies from the 60s. So you got the older people coming in.
Right.
They have something to latch onto with that, and then the younger crowd with the bathroom humor they threw in.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it wasn't to the point of where you're like, good grief, can you come up with anything else? Like, it was the right amount. Like, it was. There's so many different kinds of humor instead of just one thing, and that's all we got to offer,
Yeah.
But
It was just
go ahead.
I was gonna say, I love that small little bit. It was in the second movie where he's behind the fountain. He starts peeing to make it look like the fountain's still going. And he just randomly picks up a piece of asparagus and starts eating it, and the guard starts sniffing the air. Little throwaway jokes like that I thought were so
That's
funny.
what was so great. Like, just he would so often be in the buff, but they would strategically just the way they would hide everything was just brilliant. It's like see what he did there when he's when he's
Well,
getting the fee.
and each movie tried to do those shadow gags.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's the whole opening for the second. Sorry, go ahead.
There's a line in the. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Who's on first?
Third base. Anyway, there's a line from the very first movie that had me cracking up because I got the reference. I don't know if anybody else did in the theater when I saw it in the theater. It was that this is my happening, baby, and it freaks me out.
Yeah, I know what that was from.
That was from Beyond the Valley,
of the Dolls. Yeah,
written by one Roger Ebert.
Yep.
Even and it's doing pretty well. Like we were joking earlier, it's like cancel culture can't even cancel this movie. Even with Joe Son, look him up as the henchman random task. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I heard
he's a piece of work. But I mean, who would have known? You know, like a lot of those guys, unfortunately, they're not very bright and do shady stuff. Who would have known back then? But you know, he's only in one scene. But like Tom Arnold is the Texan, and
yes.
Oh yeah, what the hell have you been eating?
You show that shit who's boss.
Oh man,
and you gotta think that comes at a time when
it's like that's right, buddy. You show that turd who's boss. That's what.
Yeah. Christian Slater and Kelly Preston were in the deleted scenes, but apparently in the UK, the deleted scenes were incorporated in there.
The thing I love about the Tom Arnold scene was that you wouldn't expect Tom Arnold to be in this movie, but I think at that time him and Roseanne had just broken up.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to think, like, it's like Mike Myers saying, I like him, put him in there. Let's put him in there and, give him a good scene to work with,
Yes.
Well, after coming off of a brilliant piece of cinematic work called The Stupids.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Which brings to the question whether it was method acting or if it was just him playing a role.
I think it was an allegory on where his career was going at that point. But what do I know?
Well, remember, he just done True Lies, I think, the year before with Schwarzenegger.
Yeah. Well, there you go. So there's a precursor to the spy comedy being financially viable. So there you go. Oh my God. And it was always funny just seeing how many people had worked on these movies, just like famous stunt people. All the fembots were famous models, and it was always just funny. I mean, and it was always annoying when I would see Daniel Craig just be so cynical, being like, "Oh, this franchise fucked us." I'm like, James Bond never had to be serious, You could have been cheeky just as these movies were.
You could have been funny like Roger Moore, but no, you had to be.
I mean, even Pierce Brosnan would have a one-liner. He was going all diehard with his era, so it's like, grief, dude. You're
especially
just
Die Another Day. That was a bridge too far.
It was too much, but everyone saw it. Probably with a double feature of Austin Powers Free. So yeah, 2002 was a cool year for all the shit that came out. It was a fun year. But
what year?
2002.
Oh yeah, the thing that gets me is like there's a little bit of a root in Casino Royale too. The 67 Casino Royale.
Oh, it definitely takes a few frames and moments from that original campy movie. I mean, probably just the fact with the amount of cameos and even the card games that are in that one particularly, they probably definitely saw it and said, let's do something with it.
But I think the thing that always gets me the most is like, if you watch it, Austin Powers is a character time out of place, out of time. He's not.
But that's what I loved about it too. There's time travel, but it's irrelevant to the rest of the movie. It's just to get to the next wacky circumference. And I would see.
No, it's not. He's not insignificant, but.
I don't mean that.
But no, in the second movie, they make a reference. They talk about the time travel and say, "Don't think too much about this," and then Michael York and Mike Myers both look and say, "Yes."
That's what I mean. Like, it's campy. And so I did once see an idiot try to take it apart. I'm like, did you not hear the gag? It doesn't matter. It's just for the wacky scenario.
I would like to complain about the time travel element of the second and third Austin Powers movies.
The truth about any time travel. The truth about any time travel in a movie is it can be taken apart.
Correct.
Yeah.
But this is a comedy versus I have to see if the science adds up, or tell a good movie with an imperfect twist versus a hackneyed script that nothing worked in it. You know, like this is a comedy. Like it's just, I mean, and as a result, that's why it was funnier because then you saw the origin of some of the guys who died in movie one. So you're just like, okay, here they are. And Scott Evils is trying to become the real Dr. Evil. Is like, that's funny. Yes.
Well, that happens
If you're
more
going
in the
to a
third
movie
one,
called
yeah.
The Spy Who Shagged Me to take apart the time travel elements, you're probably missing the entire point of the movie anyway.
Yes.
Right. And how funny that you can say that as many times as you want in a PG-13 movie, but you can't say the F word more than twice. So shagadelic, baby, you know. And I've seen just about every cable channel do a marathon of these movies. Everyone from Spike TV to TBS, you know, it was on all the time, and I could watch it as many times as I wanted, and I never got to the point where I was just like, okay, I've seen it to death. Like it is. I think like everyone's already summed up here. It's just comfort, and it's the right kind of over the top without being too much on certain days or just too dumb. It's like, no, this is what a spoof should be. And people like it because kind of like all these other cartoons and comedies, it's its own deal at the same time too. You know?
Yeah.
It can stand on its own 2 feet instead of, oh, you know, you gotta watch that movie to get this joke. Nope. You don't have to see a single spy movie to get this. That's why I think it works so well. But
exactly.
You guys be that judge. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I think they parodied so many different types of spy movies and TV shows that if you don't get one joke, you're going to get another one anyway, or at least you know it's such in the zeitgeist.
Keep
you're
it
going to get the
rapidly
idea.
coming. Yeah.
Well, what I liked is it captured that era of the '60s spy movie, which
yes, that's what we're talking
with,
about too. How it was shot, it never outdated itself because it looked like an older movie.
Yeah, I'll put it this way: if you grew up in the '70s and you remember Moonraker, this would be right up your alley.
if I saw, like I said before, I saw Moonraker at the drive-in when I was a kid.
Oh my god!
Wow. Yeah.
Oh man. That's right.
And back then I was like, I can't remember what year. Was it 80 that it came out? So I was
79.
Probably
like
79. So I was,
because it was trying to steal that Star Wars money. Remember?
So I was 12. Yeah, that's probably why it came out that way, because of the Star Wars. Yeah. Yeah, and I just remember getting a big kick out of Jaws and his little blonde girlfriend and that.
That's the other thing too. Like, there's not really a Jaws style henchman in these, but that's okay. Like everybody, I think that's why it never became formulaic, and that's good for a comedy franchise. Like it's all about like every villain is doing their own thing and breaking all the rules. It's never we only answer to evil. Like evil is just as surprised by his other people in his organization as they are by him. So I think that's just so funny too. It's just instead of let's see who's spoiled and insecure, it's just always like they're just always just being snappy at each other, and that just leads to more comedy.
Well, he gets so flustered trying to run his organization because things never go the way he wants it to.
And it's so funny how they follow along with him, even though he always leaves them for dead. I'm going away.
Well, that was Will Ferrell's character.
Right. But like he's always first to go. Like he is good at dodging bullets and everything. And so we did name one of our orange smaller cats Biggles after Bigglesworth once upon a time. So we did not shave it. We weren't that big a bastard. But
you didn't go looking for a hairless one, huh?
A family friend gave it to us, and when emotions take over, stupid shit happens.
Well, really, the only reason why you didn't get a hairless one was because you didn't have a cryogenic freezing chamber.
That's true.
That's some Demolition Man style technology there. I get that it's a reference to James Bond. My man, Austin Powers loves to be in the freezer.
Hello, was trying to. He has to evacuation.
Oh, that joke, yeah.
Yeah, and just the elevator scene and everything, and yeah, it's just.
Yeah, the brilliance of it.
I'll tell you, every morning I get up, I give myself, and it's taken me minutes and minutes and minutes. I'm always thinking of that Austin Powers scene every time.
God, yeah.
And that's the brilliance of the entire series, for me at least. It does have those highbrow moments, those Easter eggs, those moments.
Yes.
Oh, I remember that from there. But it also has the gross humor, like the mixing up the coffee with the stool sample.
Yeah.
It's a little nutty.
This coffee tastes like shit.
It's a bit nutty.
They hit the right balance of both, so that even if you didn't get the highbrow stuff, you didn't get the multiple references.
It's pretty hard.
To TV shows, and you would get the more base humor, and you'd still get a kick out of it.
Yeah.
You could bet some 10-year-olds saw that and were just on the floor laughing.
Oh yeah, you got to be completely comedically dead to just not get anything out of this in any capacity.
Well, the whole opening scene in season 2, in the second movie, when he's naked and he's strutting through the hotel, and the sight gag of him, he goes to the people, they're having their Jewish feast, and they're about to slice into the meat, and it looks like they're giving him a bris. Just the way he's positioned, that's hysterically funny.
Well, and then that was kind of a fun gag they had in each movie, where they're doing the scenes where they're blocking the nudity with one shot or another.
That's what we're talking about. It's just strategically placed, and you're like, up. Of course, she's behind 2 coconuts. That's funny. Yeah.
Yes, Basil. Nice rack.
Yes. Oh my God. And never to a point where you're just like really couldn't come up with anything better. It's just like, yeah, that's well timed, and I can only imagine how it was rehearsed, how everybody got into that. And I think that's cool that they never got too comfortable, is like this launches Seth Green to do more movies. And, Elizabeth Hurley didn't want to be attached to this. It was like, that's okay. We'll get a new, Austin Collins.
They did have her at the beginning of it for
right.
her up.
But had we not seen that, we would have never known, versus other movies where it's so obvious someone doesn't want to do the movie as they're exiting, stage right. It's like, yeah, she just didn't want to be pigeonholed into doing sequels, but that's okay. Like there was always a new face every movie.
I liked seeing Heather Graham and her character. What was it? Oh, Felicity Shagwell.
Shagwell.
Yep.
I know they wanted to do a Foxy Cleopatra spinoff for a little while. I know they were trying to plan that.
Really?
Were they? Really?
Yeah. I think you're getting that mixed up with Halle Berry as Jinx and James Bond.
No. They want. I think there was a rumor like they want to do a Foxy Cleopatra movie, and it just didn't.
Would she have been the actress? Because I don't really think she's that great an actress.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Anymore, she's acting as a cowboy.
I see what you did there.
If you know, you know, kids.
I get it.
Hello, kids.
Loud and clear. That's well played.
Wait, what was that again?
She's pretending to be a country music star, JJ.
Oh God, yeah. Oh yeah.
And it's so funny how there's all these editorials complaining that she didn't win, and then even though she's on the record as saying this isn't a country album, I'm like, people, take a hike. Or to quote RoboCop, bitches lead.
Or is Charlie Pride was saying, say what?
Say what? Do you not understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? So Gil, who's your favorite supporting person? Because there's so many, there's the psychiatrist,
it'd be the Logan's Run guy, Basil Exposition.
Michael York, exposition.
Michael York, yeah.
Because it's the perfect name for his character.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm surprised with Tom Cruise they didn't do a aim at some of Mission Impossible or other spy shows, but it's okay. You see a bit of the shit-eating humor kind of in the first Kingsman movie a bit with Colin Firth, I think. But I mean, even Archer is kind of doing that. It's shit, but it's more like South Park where it shits on everything,
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Now, I would be remiss if I didn't point out, at least in the first two movies, there were musical elements of it. I think it was also kind of touched on in the third, but it was so typically 60s/70s when they hear some music during, then you see the star turning. And now,
Mr. Burt Bacharach.
Yeah.
Mr. Burt presenting Burt Bacharach. Elvis Costello. Ladies and gentlemen, Elvis Costello.
He liked pointing that out. Yeah.
That to me just that knocked it out of the park because it was so absurd in the middle of a movie to have that moment and then, but have it be so perfect for that time period too. That just,
Well,
I couldn't get enough of it.
And you're talking about songs. There's some songs that Dr. Evil sang. Let's see. In 3, he sang
Hard Knock Life.
Daddy Wasn't There song.
Oh, yeah, Daddy was,
that was awesome.
Yeah, with the band that was Ming T.
Daddy Didn't Love Me.
Yep, and Ming T has 2 well-known musicians in it, Matthew Sweet and what's her name? Susanna Hoffs.
Yeah,
and
Jay Roach's wife.
What was that song he sang? It sounded like "What If God Was One of Us," but what was the song he sang?
He was singing that, yeah. But it's just kind of he was parodying, and then he told them, "I wrote that song. Do you like that?"
I wrote that song.
Oh, because he's back in the past.
Yes,
and he did that parody of "Just the Two of Us" with him and Mini Me.
Yeah,
right.
Yep.
So yeah, I just liked a lot of even though it's like they're rehashing or redoing some things that they did in like other movies, some of the things they carried through, like the shadow gags, Scotty Don't, or was that? Or no, that was the sh thing that he did, and then
Zip it,
and then Scotty Don't. Yeah.
Zip it, zip, zip. Oh man!
Have you ever... it was fun watching those things reoccur.
How many people have you told to shut up doing that?
Not me. I haven't done that.
I have.
We would do it with our dogs because you can use as a command.
There was this one time I remember I was at this party and this kid was being really obnoxious, and I went. He just said, "Hey, what are you guys doing?" Shh. He says, "Don't just." I kept going. Shh. I was like, "Shh." There's gonna get. Shh. Knock knock. Who's there? Shh. And I just started, now let me. And I started to do the whole bit. The whole bit where I got a bag of here and I'm not afraid to use it. And the kid just got pissed off and walked out of the room.
I bet. Words can kill, baby. Words can kill. Oh. Even
and I've got to wonder how old Michael.
Even Sam Jackson would be. Even Sam Jackson would be intimidated if you did that to him.
Oh, I was just going to say, in 3, I liked them having Michael Caine as his father. Although you got to wonder, how old would he have been? At that time when Austin Powers was around in the 60s.
I was old enough to know better, but also old enough to still get a chat.
What gets me is they use footage from another movie that he was in where it shows I forgot which one it was. Was it a Harry Palmer movie or?
I thought it was.
There was a car exploding. Was it the car exploding scene? And I can't remember what movie that's from.
IMDb Gold member. Usually it'll say what it is.
But it's when Dr. Evil. That's where you're finding out that Dr. Evil and Austin Powers are brothers.
Yeah.
And apparently they went. That's number 3. Yeah. So you find out. Okay. So they also went to spy school together.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh man.
I think that's the great thing about that was the thing that got me the most was like if you watch it, there's almost a linear thing like you and I are are very much alike, Mr. Powers. And it's just like
foreshadowing.
Yeah.
Well, was it in 2 where he's like, "I'm your father"? He tries to play off that joke.
Yeah.
I mean, it's even funnier how even more just crazy against like Goldmember apparently curses in German as opposed to Netherlands Dutch. It's just nutty.
I wish I had that. I wish I had that one long diatribe that Dr. Evil has in the first movie where he describes himself. I wish I had that memorized.
Oh God.
Did you know that in the TV edits for part 3 and when they're in Robato's office, I see what they did there. The subtitles read, "Please eat some shit." but they're blocked by a tea kettle, which reads as shiitake mushrooms. Apparently, in the TV version, it's please eat some dung, and then it changes to please eat some dungness crab.
Yeah.
So even getting wackier as opposed to didn't even try. There was apparently a Taco Bell logo on the food Frau brings in also, and an Apple logo, but sometimes they blur it out on TV. So
I was actually looking through my notes, and my wife actually copied off the dialogue that I was talking about.
Thank you. Okay.
Gil, read it.
You very well. Where do I be? And I can't do the accent. I'm sorry, guys. I can't. But very well. Where do I begin? My father was a relentlessly self-improving boulangerie owner from Belgium with low-grade narcolepsy and a penchant for buggery. My mother was a 15-year-old French prostitute named Chloe with webbed feet.
Oh,
my father would womanize. He would drink. He would make outrageous claims like he invented the question mark. Sometimes he would accuse chestnuts of being lazy. The sort of general malaise that only the genius possess and the insane laments. My childhood was typical summers in Rangoon, luge lessons. In the spring, we'd make meat helmets. When I was insolent, I was placed in a burlap bag and beaten with reeds. Pretty standard, really. At the age of 12, I received my first scribe. At the age of 14, a Zoroastrian named Vilma ritualistically shaved my testicles. There really is nothing like a shorn scrotum. It's breathtaking. I suggest you try it.
And that's when Carrie Fisher says, you know what? We have to stop.
Yep.
Right. How awesome. I wonder if she wrote that line in dialogue. Oh, man. Okay, so I got your answer, JJ. So it's Hurry, Sundown. Dramatic film that they take the earlier Michael Caine footage from.
All right, okay.
Totally different kind of movie. You're like, what? And because like you, I thought it was one of the Harry Palmer movies, and you're like, nope. Oh, and you gotta love the Godzilla statue. They move it, thinking it's a real Godzilla, and two businessmen run screaming, saying, "Run, it's Godzilla." And another says, "It looks like
But
Godzilla."
actually, it's not.
Due to international copyright, it is not.
Yeah.
But again, like we said before, like you don't have to get all these references for the joke to land. Like it's just fun. And how he's dancing like Travolta in Saturday Night Fever. Just oh man.
I think I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No, you go, Gil.
No, I don't have anything.
Well, I thought you did.
Oh, no, not really.
Who's on first? Did you guys ever see the Mythbusters episode where they tested out the to see if the ejector car seat would even work?
I don't think so.
No,
No, because I don't want my dreams crushed.
Yeah, but it's a comedy. I'm not.
Did you guys mention the problems he had with chairs yet?
I talked about his penis bump. I talked about all kinds of things. I don't think I got to that one yet. It's true. Yeah, chairs are kind of a thing. I mean, if he's not bumping his head, Austin is always getting into some issue.
My favorite is the joke where it says, "Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my submarine lair. It's long and hard and full of semen." Laughs, and then he notices nobody's gonna like, "No, nothing, not even a titter. Tough show."
I'll remember.
I'm trying to find it.
In 02, 03, dude, it was big. Like that final movie. Like I remember, I think it was like a Teen Nick Choice Award show. I think Mike Myers won a award. I don't know if he got slimed, but I remember that year. It was a crazy year. But yeah, anytime he's converting all these guys to come over and like be part of his evil planet, it's just always like, yeah, they think he's weird, but because he's got a ton of money, they're going to go along with whatever crazy thing he has, just whatever shenanigans. I did recall in the first movie, Austin killed about 110 people. I do remember that. Like there were a lot of people in that factory.
My wife also copied out the just the two of us song.
Yep.
Oh, God.
Well, we played it at the beginning of the show, so it's a cool cover because, like, again, like kind of like all his other dancing and everything, like he's just Mike Myers is really going loose in that villain role. And I think that's what I love. I'd love nothing more than a villain who is just funny. Like, I forget why you're evil again. He's like, no, he's got family issues. Ugh.
I think when he does like when he's doing a gold member and he's doing the whole smoking a pancake thing, that really cracked me up. You know,
Cigarette in a crepe.
Dr. Evan, what do you have the ultimate insurance policy? May I present you the very sexual, very tight Osterblau's father? His what? His father, Dr. Evil. His father? What's his father? His father, you know, the father. You know, go remember, I don't speak freaky deaky Dutch. Okay? Perv boy. Father, you know, his dad, his father. Oh, his dad, his father.
Oh, my word.
I have a Dutch accent. Isn't that weird?
I was trying to think, you know, when they were doing the movie connection, like they were making a movie about Austin Powers, and they had who was it that played the gold member? It was John Travolta.
Yeah, John Travolta.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. And then you had Tom Cruise at the beginning.
There was a Spielberg
playing Austin Powers, and then
now was it
yeah.
Quick question here: was it actually John Travolta or was it Nicolas Cage?
Dr. Evil looked very tight. Yes, tight like a tiger. Yes. You know, gold member, I don't think that's something one dude says to another dude. Yeah, a little creepy.
How about when he wanted to eat his skin?
Yeah. This was good. This was good one. Yes, very. I'm putting him with very, very salty. Yes.
That then goes in the skin box, and I'm saving that.
That then goes in the skin box. Oh God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
And then, has anybody brought up Fat Bastard?
Yes, we have, but not enough.
God.
So what's the best moment? Because there's plenty. A fat bastard gets in my belly. Like, that shouldn't work, but it does. I don't know why it works, other than just the delivery and just, I guess it's just the shamelessness of each character. It's any other movie or show you can cringe because the character is too perverted or too weird, and it's just like, these work because there's never not a moment where the movie knows that it's absurd. You know, it's just like, it's wacky. Go along with it.
Well, there's like the two times when Fat Bastard goes into a diatribe. You know, he's making these long speeches, and then it ends with him having a little bitty fart.
Did you just show yourself, baby? I don't know.
Where's your shitter? I got the turtle head poking out.
Oh my God.
I got a crap on deck and joke on donkey.
Oh my word.
Oh, the scene with him.
The best thing
the
for
scene
me
with
was,
him and Heather Graham.
Oh God. Oh my God.
I was just going to say the scene with him and Heather Graham. Go ahead, Tom.
Best thing for me though was seeing Fat Bastard as a sumo wrestler. I don't know what it is, but that
so appropriate
cultural crossover event was one I didn't know I needed, but I knew at that moment that it had to happen.
As he said, in that moment.
And then he tosses that
realized,
and then he tosses that guy across the room.
Who's on first?
It was at this point that he realized that a fat Scottish man could be a sumo wrestler.
Oh, I'm on the zone diet. Yeah, carbs on the enemy. And he's got all this loose skin hanging from him and everything at the end of Gold Member.
I'll put it this way, also something else I just remembered. If they didn't get canceled for Kevin Spacey, they sure as hell wouldn't have gotten canceled for the reference to Jared from Subway.
Oh God!
Oh,
I just remember that. Oh,
I forgot. Kevin Spacey was playing Dr. Evil. No, I thought it was, when Fat Bastard and Heather Graham were going at it in bed. Well, not going at it, but, he's sitting there getting all greasy and stuff and it's sweaty and hairy. And
yeah, he's got pimples on his back and shit.
And she's got to insert that thing in his...
the rectal probe.
Ooh, frisky are we?
That was a good point too. Like it could have easily just been too much and grossed everyone out, and yet somehow, like, I don't know if it's just the way Myers delivers everything and tells everybody, like, again, he just shuts them down and says, "Relax. This is meant to be nutty." You know, just
It is a bit
I have
nutty.
the Dr. Evil rapping from Goldmember. I don't know how to be no crib on MTV. God only knows. Got mini-me in the GP. See how it goes. Evil's all that I see. You ask me my name? D to the Rizzo, E to the Vizzo, I to the Lizzo. I'm crazy motherfucker. You all knew that. Austin caught me in the first act. It's all backwards. That's what's with that. So I'll make my prophecy from the dogs to mini-me. Give me an Escalade, two-way bling bling on eBay. Domino motherfucker.
does he actually say "fucker"?
Yeah, actually, I think it says that. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, wait, yeah.
How'd they get away with that?
He says, Goldmember. Yes, this is a keeper. All right, you're not going to put that skin in your mouth, are you? You did. Okay, that's just gross. Yes, very salty. Yes, that was good. I would start, my ex-wife, I would start talking like Goldmember. If we were like somewhere, like, you look very tight, like a tiger. And she's like, shut up. I'm like, you're very sexual tonight, very sexual, very sensual. Let's do something together. And,
Oh my God.
she started cracking up.
So here in St. Louis, we've got a Christmas festival that happens in St. Charles, Missouri, which is one of the, just right across the bridge from where I live. And we do a Christmas festival every year, and I end up playing Krampus. And they said they don't want it to be scary, even though I'm on these giant hoof stilts that put me about 7 feet tall, and I've got a huge horns coming out of my head. So no one catches it, but I do the voice of Goldmember when people come into my room to visit me as Krampus.
Nice.
And no one's caught on yet.
Boy, girl.
Yes, would you like to shit on my lap? Come here. Let me see you. Have you been good or bad, child?
I have seen people do like Sean Connery memes, but do a play on the horse shit on my lap.
There's nothing like sitting on a good toilet. Yes, shit on a chair. Shit on a chair. Yes. Yes, you shit on a chair and then you shit on the couch.
Or you can be like Quebec's mom and shit on my.
Take the rapist for 20. Sorry.
I think the thing that cracked me up was when they were doing the whole at least dad speak English. Speak English is all right, my son. I could have had away with cracking Julie, my old China. I was about to make love to this pretty girl. Are you telling me a bunch of pork pies and a bag of trout? Because if you quite quickly, frankly, you just have a J. Arthur. Is it true you're just aroused? Why did you play yourself? What, Billy? No mates? What, alone? Too right, indeed. Don't you remember the Crimbo din we had with that Courtney Scott's girl? Don't you remember the dinner with that Scott's girl? Oh yeah, the one that was all sixes and sevens, the insane one. Yeah, she was in trouble and strife on the Morris dancer. What lived up with the apples and pears? She was the wife of the dance who lived upstairs. She was a barrister. What became a Bobby and a Lori, and a lawyer who became a policeman in a truck. Complete gibberish, like tea kettle. Yeah, and then she sat on a turtle.
And that's when they did the subtitles underneath.
Yeah, there's all question marks on the bottom.
Oh man. James...
Danny DeVito is Mini-Me too.
Yes, he is. Yeah. How appropriate. James, have you ever introduced these to your family members or other James?
I had
other James.
My mom and my dad watched it one time. My mom was laughing hysterically. My father,
so there you go.
He got some of the jokes, but he didn't get it. But my dad knew about our man Flint and the Dean Martin stuff. So he was kind of like seeing it, know what he's talking about here. But my mom loved it because there's some jokes in there. She was just howling. My ex-wife, I saw all three with her.
Nice.
No, I said two with her. I saw Spy Who Shagged Me and
everybody gets it,
yeah.
Guess James, have you shown this to any fam?
Yeah, my wife and I tried to watch them, and I was like, "You've got to see they're hilarious." And she suffered through the first one. We made it halfway through the second one. She goes, "I just can't. It's too much toilet humor." I said, "No." Okay,
Really?
then I filed for divorce. So
No, my wife,
Wow.
as I rewatched them this last week, she sat through 1 and 2, but she said 3 is not her favorite. She didn't want to watch that one. So
Not every gag lands. I could do without the Britney Spears part, but other than that, I think it's fun. I think the first one is the best, but I see others who argue that the second one's their favorite. So, whatever floats your boat, man. Like, they are just so agreeable. It's a good trilogy. It really is. Like, it's just, I can't think of any other comedy trilogy that works.
I do wish they had done more with it.
Yeah, totally. For years they teased part 4, and now at this rate, I'm like, nah, don't bother. Like, let the memories of these 3 movies live on. Like,
well, I don't know. As with Michael Myers getting up there in years, he could do like Sean Connery type of thing, like Sean Connery did with his last
maybe
Bond role.
but I don't know.
Yeah, like a never say never again type thing.
Yeah,
We're bringing you back out of retirement, Austin.
For a totally different adventure. Perfect.
Which is also very similar to Casino Royale, the '67.
Yeah.
Luring
David Niven back out. Yeah, I mean, if they did do another one with him coming out of retirement, they get a Rowan Atkinson as that as well, and that could be the Never Say Never connection.
That'd be the Johnny English universe. There you go. I see what you did there.
Yeah.
I think the thing I've said about the movies is that at the end, when you think about the last one with Goldmember, that character's such a freaking wacky ass character.
I mean, they all are, but he is definitely takes the cake. Yeah.
But you got to think like fat bastards, like the henchman of all henchmen. Like he's the one.
Yeah.
He's like he's the one that he's got that tragic. Like he's a fat person, but he's got. When society tells you got to be thin in order to be liked, and he's like, but like it's like Goldmember's like this like character of like I don't know what to fucking make of him. Whatever scene he's in, it's like it's like you hear that voice, you start laughing because it's like he's like you look like a macho man, village people.
Johann Vanderschmidt. Yeah. What a name.
And then he says, that would be bad news, bears. Walter Matthau.
Well, let's look at his alias. And there's many. There's Goldmembers. There's Crazy Dutch Bastard. There's Goldie Wang. And then there's son of a bitch pile of monkey nuts.
Well, and he's nothing like... I was going to say, he's nothing like because the name Goldmember, they're just taking it off of Goldfinger. He's nothing like Goldfinger.
No.
Right. It's just part of the parody. Like, it doesn't have to land. I mean, I think I see a bit of Luthor of the Hill People, that same kind of just randomness with a lot of these characters. And I think that's just it. Like, SNL was just the template for where Myers was going to go as a comedian. And I think compared to other people where you're like, I'm not sure, if they sold out or had to rely on this, like 3 just funny movies kind of just did it for him. That's what kept him relevant, part of the 90s.
I think it closed. Yeah. I think the thing that got me is like it closed up on that era of like where it was like that 5-year run, and I think the weakest of the 3 is The Spy Who Shagged Me, because it just gets really wacky at some point. I mean, it's more of a Dr. Evil movie than
fair enough
Austin Powers movie, and I think that's what I love about it. But when they did the 3rd one, we were like thinking, okay, how's this going to turn out?
Well, and that's just it. Like, they didn't go to any expectation, so you never knew what you were in for. And again, because all the characters are nutty, you can follow any of them around and you laugh. Like, I can't think of a moment where you're just not. There might be moments where you're not laughing as hard, but there's still moments where you're having a wee of a time and you're just like, this is crazy silly.
With 3, they kind of did end it, because at the end, Dr. Evil finds out he's Austin Powers' brother. He becomes a good guy.
Yeah,
his son takes over. So it's like, no, you got to see Dr. Evil being evil. So that's probably why they ended it there.
True. I mean, don't get me wrong. In a shitty alternate cinematic universe, Myers could have done like 20 of these, and people would have been like, "Oh, it's not funny anymore. Stop it."
And I was trying to think. I've mentioned before, like wishing that they had done a cartoon and stuff. And now I'm thinking on Netflix, there is a cartoon for Agent Elvis.
Oh,
I don't know.
Yes.
Oh my
That
god.
is
Yeah,
a
and
brilliant
it's like,
show.
and it just makes me think that, oh yeah, if these people had done Austin Powers, they could have done a great job.
I had heard of it. I can't remember if I saw it or not.
It's amazing. And the person who plays Elvis, Matthew McConaughey.
All right.
And for a job he did, all right.
I'm Dixie Normus. Hi, I'm Dixie Normus. I'm Dixie Normus. I may be a small-town FBI agent / single mother, but I'm still tough and sexy. Well, Miss Normus, shall we shag now or shag later?
Ew.
Well, if with a name like Dixie Normus, I'd have to worry about her sexuality myself.
Oh my god. In the early days of prank calls, there were many celebrities that people used to do before they'll stop being a thing, and Dr. Evil was one of them. What did you say to me, you little shit? Yeah. Oh.
I was just thinking about today. I was on the internet and I was thinking about like the movies that came out between like 94 to like 2002, and there was this spot where I was watching this highlight from the Jerky Boys movie that came out. Right?
Oh my god!
Remember that movie when that came out?
Yeah, coming soon. Talking about the Jerky Boys.
Yeah, I was like one of 5 people who saw it, and
I haven't seen it. Is it good, JJ?
It's. Let me put it this way: it's funny if you know the characters that they do.
Well, I've listened to their CDs that they.
Yeah, but to put them in a movie was not the best idea in the world.
Yeah,
but there's parts they do, and they're like, they're like they go to they're like at a burger place. And says, yes, can my wife and I have a. My son wants a cheeseburger. I want a hamburger. My wife wants a chicken sandwich. Can you get a large lemonade and order fries? All right, so that's two clam nipples, a quart of antifreeze. He's like, what the hell are you thinking? He's just like, I'm sorry. What? My mother hit me this morning and my shoes and glasses came off. Let me speak to the manager. Yeah, tough guy. What do you want? Can we ever order? Yeah, I'll get you a fucking order. Just turn up the fucking window. I mean, it was so hit or miss with some of that, with those things. But the minute you saw them, the illusion was wrecked. That's the thing that killed it. When they took the masks off and you were like, oh, that's them. And
they're not anonymous people behind a phone.
No. The funny thing is Johnny Brennan does work on the Family Guy and stuff like that.
Oh
he's the voice of Mort Goodman, the
I was
Jewish
going to say
pharmacist. So and I know that Seth MacFarlane, they always would think, he was the voice also of Horace, the guy who owned the clam before they killed his character off.
Oh my
god. He's made Ali Kamal. I don't know what he does now. I don't know what he's doing these days.
Oh yeah, that guy. I'm just kidding.
My name is Ali Kamal. He punched my teeth and my gums dry. I cannot blow bubbles or chew popcorn.
The Jerky Boys movies at least had Alan Arkin in it, though, so I'm not sure what he was.
I'm gonna kill this
about it, Alan Arkin. And the scene where he gets burned by the cigarette. Shit, fuck. Just does that one.
I'll never forget how Roger even hated that movie. I'm like, dude, don't even. No, there's so much worse stuff out there.
We'll just bring up his writing for Beyond the Valley of the Dolls.
That's basically the defense we have for everything.
I think it's between North and the Jerky Boys, the movies, and Buffalo 66, where he thought it was just.
I thought that was David Mamet.
No. Buffalo 66 was Vince. What was his name? Shit.
He was the guy that starred in it, right?
Vincent Gallo. Yeah.
Vincent Gallo. Yeah. And he did that movie, The Brown Bunny, too.
Oh my word! You had to bring that damn movie.
Yeah. I remember Buffalo 63. Ebert just fucking trashed him in his work, and I was like,
before he went to war against Rob Schneider, but I can't blame him for that. Everyone's been at war with Rob Schneider at one point in their life.
Even Rob Schneider's at war with Rob Schneider. Isn't it sad? You think Rob Schneider, here he was, this guy who was on Saturday Night Live, and now he's like this ultra Republican.
Stupid.
And I'm sitting there,
his best role is playing as himself getting roasted on Triumph Needs a Poop World Tour.
Yeah.
What was
I'm one of those people who enjoyed Deuce Bigelow, Male Gigolo. I actually enjoyed that movie.
No, hey,
yeah,
whatever floats your boat, man. That at least had an ensemble as opposed to just him carrying a movie and being stupid. So I am surprised though. Speaking of Moonraker, that there wasn't a character named Holly Goodhead in any of these Austin Powers movies.
Well, here's the goof. In the first movie, when Mike McDonald's character gets killed.
Yes.
Oh, the
his
scene.
Wife, there's a cut scene. Lois Childs is his wife who played Dr. Holly Goodhead.
Oh my word, for real?
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah.
They had to get some Bond girl in there
That's the
somewhere.
steamroller scene, right? With the
Yep.
Since you mentioned Moonraker, I don't know if you have seen, and I don't mean to take this down a tangent.
Should be the porn parody. Good.
They've had a question mark now because they're saying that you all remember when Jaws comes out of the rubble and he shakes himself off and the girl's there with the braids, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Did she or did she not have braces when she smiled at him?
She did.
Everyone is saying online, no, she didn't. That was actually not a thing, and we're all misremembering. And I'm like, I've got the DVD. I've got the Blu-ray. She had it. Nope, they added that in for the new whatever anniversary thing is coming out. I'm like, I really don't think so. And there's people on the chat. Well, I saw this in the cinema, and I remember that she didn't have braces.
I am convinced that James Bond fanboys love to argue for the sake of arguing.
Jaws.
I remember braces.
Yeah,
I remember
so do I.
braces. And I remember they were
his braces, but who knows? Maybe they're looking at TV edits that kill stuff for time. I don't.
Or
That was the
maybe
whole
they
thing.
got
Was so sweet that they bonded over that because they both had metal in their mouth.
Oh, I see what you did there. Bonded.
Yeah, and it also came up again as a near the end of a movie called Better Off Dead.
I just made my $2.
With not just that, at the very end after they had their ski pole sword fight, the main antagonist, the guy with the glasses, finds a girl with, I think she had braids, but she definitely had braces, and she smiled and he smiled, and they walked off into the sunset, as it were, together. And
that was Roy Rogers, asshole. Die Hard reference.
Hold on a minute. I'm looking at this right now with the.
Or no, it's Gary Cooper. That was Gary Cooper. Oh man.
It's like there is a thing you were saying she might have braces or
release the braces cut.
Well, it's possible that she could have been in scenes where she didn't have the braces in, but I remember seeing her with braces.
Were they on her chest? Maybe that's what we were paying attention to. I don't know.
Well, I know I was.
At least you're honest. Showing.
Yeah. Oh, she's a example of the Mandela effect. Most people claim that they remember Dolly wearing braces on her teeth. That can be seen when she smiles at Jaws after meeting him. These braces are not to be seen in the film, or at least its current version. So they may have done one take where she has them and one take where she doesn't have them, and they just flipped it.
And we're getting different cuts that we got. Different.
That's possible. Especially if you're talking like they do different things for like TV cut versus the movie cut.
So you know what?
Theater cut.
We need to go back in time and get the braces cut.
Oh, there's got to be a braces cut somewhere.
That's what I mean. We'll go back in time, power style. Just make this work.
We'll go back to 1975, where I will bring Goldmember into the future, and you know what? No one can stop me. Not even Austin Powers. You're surrounded, Dr. Evil. Oh shit.
That's what I would love too.
Well, that's right. They did the whole Silence of the Lambs thing with him.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. That's the fucking thing.
Oh my fucking word.
I love when he breaks out of prison. They start playing Eastbound and Down.
Yes.
I got a smoke up. I got a smoky come up on my tail.
Distinctive. Yeah. MasterCard. Oh my god.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh my God! I can't believe I miss those movies. I miss those movies so much. I mean, it's like.
Did you go through and try to rewatch any of them this week, JJ? Or
I didn't get a chance to because I had some stuff come up, but I was like trying to remember in the back of my memory, like, the memory banks are still working now as we speak. But it was like I have to watch them again just to go through them, like, because I haven't time to watch anything. I just remember a lot of the stuff that happens. It's like I gotta watch them again just to get familiar with them again.
no,
But
I always do. I always have to do that.
They never get old though. Like
no.
even if you haven't seen them in a decade, like they're gonna date well compared to other comedies and the over the top stuff. It's kind of like how people get offended at other stuff, but then when it's in a different context, no one bleeds a single, no one ruptures a single tear. It's just like it's just one of those like you have to just like really just be the biggest nitpicker on the face of the planet to find something really wrong with these movies. Like to be like, that's not funny. It's just like really.
I tried to tell people about watching, and they were like, "Oh no, this movie's way, way funnier." And I was like, "No, it's not. It's not funny at all. I don't, like you would."
I was there when the towers fell. It's not funny.
Yeah,
It's always a matter of taste. I mean,
it's a matter of taste. That's the way I look at it.
It is funny to know who, like, why they think a certain way is like, well, when's the last time you saw it? Okay, you saw it once upon a time.
Well, it's like I've told the story before of where like my cousin Shane and I and his sister, my other cousin, we all went to go see Dumb and Dumber in the theater. And Shane and I were on the floor laughing watching this movie, and my cousin Shannon, she's like, I don't get it. Why? What's so funny? And I'm like, we can't explain it to you.
But yet, you would have a movie come out like, Friday.
Yeah.
Which,
Hi, Felicia.
Yeah, I mean, there's funny parts in that. But I mean, there were I don't remember other comedies coming out at that time, like that really hit it as big as Austin Powers. And then you got to think later.
That could be it too. Like it depends on how people were seeing everything versus waiting for HBO, and video store.
Yeah, it's not on your radar. Point, to that point, I almost think the 90s, at least certainly in the early 90s, there was a big resurgence with the throwback to the 60s.
Mm-hmm.
You had movies like the Doors that kind of brought that up. You had Bell Bottoms coming back. You had groups like D-Light who harkened back to that time frame.
Yeah.
And so there was that entire movement in there.
Funkadelic, baby.
That would have definitely, if not inspired it, or it might, but it definitely would have been reflected in it from the writing standpoint of it, and to get shot. I think that's where a lot of that came from, was just that early to mid 90s sense of we want to relive the 60s.
Neo psychedelia.
We go through waves, man. Yeah.
It was neo psychedelia because I can remember going to college and when I got out of community, I went to the 4 years.
Hey, community. No,
I went to community school, college, and I was like,
Jeff Winger, say hi.
I was like this little. Then the minute I got to college, I was like noticing people like, it was like, wait, did I just step into a time warp or something like that? And that's what reminded me. Like everybody was like, dressing like the 60s again, and then we all graduated, and some of us became, Republicans, and some of us still know how to have fun. But ladies and gentlemen,
it was a different time, baby.
It was a different time, but it was like I can remember just seeing people in going to like New York and seeing people dressed up in bell bottoms and like those the hippie dippy stuff, and I was like, this is cool, but
as long as it wasn't your achy breaky heart.
No, that was a couple years before.
I can remember my stepmom buying me some jeans for school, and it was when bell bottoms had been out of style for like 2 or 3 years, and they were bell bottoms. and I had to wear them to school, and I got made fun of big time.
At least it wasn't a fat bottom.
Or Huskies.
No, to be fair though, Cam, fat bottom girls, they do make the rock.
That's what I was referencing.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
I still got my greatest treasure. Still got my favorite pleasure. Hey, big woman, you done made a big man out of me. Yeah.
You'll make a man out of me.
Now you're a man. Now you're
I love it. I've got mortgages and homes. I've got stiffness in the bones. You know. Oh God! Like you listen to that song, you're just like, oh, I get where he's coming from.
That's actually my favorite Queen song.
That has become one of my favorite Queen songs. Like if it comes to my top 5, you know, that and Bicycle Race from that era. You know.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
That was from the Queen album, Jazz.
Yeah.
Now back to the countdown.
Oh my God.
You know, I was watching something. They said how Freddie Mercury changed styles like every couple years, and they said when they did Jazz, the tour for Jazz, he came out and he had like a leather jacket on, like the leather jacket on, the peak hat, those sunglasses, and like the leather slash they were like, I don't know, like plastic, not like you know, like pleather trousers and stuff like that. You know where he was getting that from? The guy Glenn Hughes from the Village People.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Everybody imitates someone else, you know. And
Wait. Now, wait a minute here. Are you telling me that there's a possibility that Freddie Mercury may have been homosexual?
I'm not saying there's a possibility, but
you know, I couldn't tell, man. I absolutely could not tell, man. That man was straight as they come. Speaking of MTV, I did like how this whole franchise did mention a shit ton of MTV without you having to have seen any of it. Like, it was just kind of, it's a pop culture savvy movie. And I also would be amiss before we go. You guys do know how the origin of Mini-Me, right?
George Harrison.
I haven't heard of that one.
No.
So I'll go ahead and tell it for you. So New Line Cinema, you know, when they're in the process of making the first Austin Powers in '97, Vern Troyer's, you know, Mini-Me, he's not used in the first movie, but he is in the sequels later. But so there's this dud that New Line produced known as The Island of Dr. Morell.
Yeah.
And there was a featured dwarf actor who was for whatever reason, Marlon Brando had taken a liking to. And because he could get away with stuff, it gave that guy a chance to grow an ego, and he would notoriously punch PAs in the dick, and including a New Line executive. And he got the inspirations like, let's have Dr. Evil, you know, have a mini, clone of himself who does just that. And so it's one of those, it's not known everywhere, but you'll see it on some trivia sites. I think it was revealed in like the commentary tracks once upon a time, somewhere along the way.
I do remember hearing how Marlon Brando was really into that little person.
Yeah, it's just like, you're with a
I really like your little guy. He's a really good guy.
So now it makes me
couldn't refuse.
Now it makes me think Dr. Evil is Colonel Kurtz from Apocalypse Now.
Or I'm almost taking the other way. Dr. Moreau from the Island of Dr. Moreau.
Did you know Vern Troyer played Napoleon?
Yeah.
What?
In Jack of All Trades.
Oh, the Bruce Campbell show.
Yep.
So the last thing I ever saw him in was a Who's Line episode back in like 2016, and he was doing stuff here and there, and that's just it. Like, it didn't matter if he was kind of what I call the Jason Mewes thing, you know, even though he's not playing Jay from the Kevin Smith movies anymore. Like, he doesn't have to, it's kind of like Danny Trejo. You will see whatever crap he's in, and you would laugh that he was in it. And I applaud anybody who can have that big a career and kind of be critic proof in a way. Like, you're going to check out something he's in. Like, it's just whatever he's in, it's curiosity kills the cat. You got to check it out. And so I think that's how I would describe kind of his career post Austin Powers.
When did he pass away?
2018.
2018. And what was the last thing he did?
That's that's what I was saying. Kind of just comedy bits here and there, appearances. And I saw him on a Who's Line episode, and he did pretty good.
Who's Line? Yeah.
And yeah, I can't believe how many people aren't alive anymore from this movie. But at the same time, like, it's not to the point where it just, because their character is just so iconic and fused in pop culture now. Like, whenever I see him, I don't feel sad. I'm just like, I'm appreciating the work you did, and that I know it's quality if I'm still quoting it years later, you know?
Yeah.
And they've immortalized themselves on film. So
yeah.
The thing I loved is, like, George Harrison wrote a letter to Mike Myers when they were filming Austin Powers Goldmember, and he says, he said he got the letter the day that George Harrison died, and he said that
fucking real.
He says that just sitting here with my Dr. Evil doll, I just want you to know I've been all over Europe looking for your mini doll. And he says that Harrison said, and he says Dr. Evil is so freaking good. Any Scouser dad will tell you, it's like it's actually friggin' instead of 4 fish and a finger, as in 4 fish and a finger pie. If you get my drift, says thanks for the movie, so much fun. And I think that's the thing that I love about it, is, like, you know, to have, you know, like, to have that happen when, you know, you reach someone. And he said in the letter, sorry, I left you on the helicopter that day. I promise I won't do it again, because at the end of A Hard Day's Night, supposedly he said, when they did the Hard Day's Night, when they leave in the helicopters, 8x10 says Beatles on the door, and the helicopter takes off. That's what he loved about with A Hard Day's Night and Austin Powers, you know, with Mike Myers. He says it was the same sort of, like, party mood about it, you know.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah.
Who was the singer that? Who was the singer that was supporting Monty Python?
There's a bunch. There was
Neil Hines.
No, that was George Harrison too. He
George
funded.
But Zeppelin, I think, also.
Life of Brian.
Yeah.
No. Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, the guy who Chris Thomas, I think, who owned Island Records.
Floyd was one of them too. Yeah.
They put money into Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Okay.
Yep.
And Life of Brian had Harrison and the others. Okay.
Life of Brian had Harrison. What George Harrison did was, if you ever hear the story, EMI pulled out because they were being told, you know, this movie's going to be, you know, terrible. It's not going to make any money or anything like that.
Stop that. That's silly. Yeah.
George Harrison basically said, well, I'll give you the money. He's like, well, why do you give me this?
Chico needed the money.
Chico needed the money. So what happens is that George Harrison put his house up as collateral for the movie. And it made more money than what was expected. So George
made the
Harrison
most money since Jesus was a small boy.
It was one that Tom laughed because he was about to make the same records.
So go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say, you know, and they asked him why he did it. He says, because I wanted to see it.
Yeah, that's what made him so cool.
I love just the simplest, just like reasons. Like, see, that works.
Eric Idle said later, it's the most expensive movie ticket anyone's ever paid for.
Oh my God, I love Eric. Oh man. Well, gang, I feel like we have picked this apart, but in a good way.
You're very tight like a tiger.
Look at tiger. These movies rock.
Oh God, yeah.
These movies rule. They're agreeable.
They're fun.
Not.
They're fun, yeah.
Yeah, funny guy. Oh man.
What is Austin Powers streaming on right now?
Oh, it's got to be on the Max app, right? Let's see. Austin Powers. Not Cast.
I don't know about streaming. I always buy it, so.
I know you
Let me check.
Yeah, I'm holding the DVDs in my hand because I wasn't sure if this was going to be video or not, so I wanted to have them on hand and ready.
No, it's fine.
That's a man who
you can buy it on Prime. Okay.
Prime?
It's not on Max. Yeah, and I'm not seeing on Max or even. Wow.
Now, can anybody tell me where I can get Master of Disguise? No.
Oh my god!
Really?
I'm gonna see if it's on Tubi now.
Yeah, that's what gets me.
That's where I'm going.
That's
it's on Tubi. Yes.
Yeah, Tubi has everything lately.
That's what gets me about like Dana Carvey and Mike Myers. Like they did Wayne's World and Wayne's World 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you think about it, Dana Carvey was supposed to be the one that was going to go like into the stratosphere, and what was Mike Myers going to do? And then all of a sudden, Mike Myers goes into the stratosphere. David Carvey, I know him and Spade have a podcast now together.
Yes,
which
they
I love.
do.
Yeah.
1% on Rotten Tomatoes. Jesus.
And on a side note, in case you were wondering, Master of Disguise is on Tubi.
Yep. No, that's what I was saying earlier. It's on Tubi.
I was looking for the Austin Powers movies, but
Fandango at home, Apple TV.
You know, one thing I didn't realize, I didn't think about comparing was Maxwell Smart. You know, Get Smart.
Yeah, we compared it to everything from Pluto Nash to Matt Helm, but yeah. There's definitely something similar to freaking Get Smart and Mel Brooks in general. Oh.
I think that's the thing. I think you can compare Siegfried to Dr. Evil. You know, yes, you don't shush around here. You know.
So, what's your favorite Dr. Evil laugh moment? Besides all of them.
Well, the one where for me, it's the one where he's he's laughing. Everybody else starts laughing, and they keep laughing, but the scene doesn't cut away.
They're right. They're trying to keep up with
that's Police Squad right there.
Down.
Yeah, it is Naked Gun. Yeah, Zucker Brothers moment.
I think the one I love is the speech that he gives to the therapy group because it's so wacky. But the one where he's got the case says, Mr. Biggles, what time for dinner? I like Chex Mix, meow 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 meow. And then when he starts dancing around to Beyond the Sea, I fucking lost it.
Please deliver. Yeah, it's just wow.
Without a doubt, he starts doing like this wacky dance. Like I'm just watching in the movie theater and I'm laughing hysterically because it's just like, where the fuck are they thinking of this? You know?
Yeah. How do you?
Did Jay Roach just say, "Okay, we're gonna play this song, you dance around, and then we'll"?
How do you even come up with this? Yeah.
Well, they're pulling it from somewhere.
Oh yeah, totally.
Oh yeah, that. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. Meow merch, please.
Meow meow meow. I like liver. I like beef. I like liver. I like chicken.
I wonder if anyone even knows that was a thing anymore. Like I can't remember the last time.
I remember that TV commercial was definitely an 80s thing.
All right, I'm just wondering who knows about it now.
Well, I do.
Because it's kind of like the Taco Bell Chihuahua, you know, like, hey, you know, enough people know it, but who doesn't know it? Like, who?
Well, we're getting so far away from like the Where's the Beef Lady and all that stuff too.
Yeah. No. What was the one? Remember the Chuck Wagon would appear?
Yes, that
was Purina, I think.
Purina.
Dog food.
Is that the one where you're seeing the stagecoach being dragged across the kitchen floor or running across the kitchen floor?
It wasn't a stagecoach. It was like a chuck wagon. The chuck wagon goes across. So I always was like going, well, where's that chuck wagon go to? Is the dog hallucinating? You know, because the dog would be like, and you follow it, and they did that in Family Guy. They did that in Family Guy where Brian chases it and he goes, still can't get it.
I remember that actually, yeah.
Did Seth Green steal that gag?
Looks like I picked the wrong day to stop giving the dog LSD.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God. Fun.
I'm glad I got to be a part of it. I was worried I was going to miss it.
Oh, don't worry about it, man.
Anything for you,
I'm so jealous of you guys when I hear you guys talking and I'm not part of the conversation. I'm like,
don't worry about
it.
I saw some of those comic book things you were making, Gil. The one with Submariner.
Yep.
I like that. I didn't like the version they did in Black Panther 2, though. I don't know why. It just didn't seem. It didn't seem like.
You mean with him as an Aztec background?
Yeah,
it didn't work for me either.
You know,
Yeah.
it
does until it doesn't, until
I'm Namor, the Submariner. So you're like Aquaman, right? Well, yes, but I live in Atlantis. So does Aquaman. I said this theory: Namor lives on the west side of Atlantis.
Oh my God.
Aquaman lives on the east side.
Yeah, Namor lives in the suburbs.
Oh my God.
Aquaman lives near the trailer parks.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Which explains why Amber Heard plays Mira. But ladies and gentlemen.
Hey-o.
Oh boy. What do you got coming up, Mr. Enstall?
Let's see. We've got still doing the show every Sunday night. It's a live radio show, but
No
you can
church
tune
for
in.
you.
No, it's too much work on Sundays. I can't do that and the religion thing. But no, we've got so every Sunday night at 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, we broadcast live. And we just had the guy who was Michael Keaton's movement double in 1989 Batman.
God.
Talk about that. And we had Philip Kennedy
You
Johnson, who's
captured
currently
their
writing
stunt
Hulk.
doubles. Yeah.
So yeah, he was fantastic. Very, very cool to hear all his stories working with Michael Uslan and Michael Keaton and Anson First. And then we're still doing a Comic-Con here. We've decided St. Louis needs a Comic-Con, so we're doing one ourselves. So Memorial Day weekend of 2025, we're doing Two Rivers Comic-Con. We're bringing in Roy Thomas, Mark Bagley, Keith Williams, Phil Hester, Andy Parks. We've got the voice cast of the Justice League coming in, Susan Eisenberg, Phil Lamar.
Wait. Go back. Wait. The voice cast of the Justice League?
Yes.
So you're bringing in Phil Lamar, Carl
Susan
Lumley?
Eisenberg. We're talking with Carl Lumley. He's not been officially announced, but we've talked to him because we've had him on. I also do a podcast with Susan Eisenberg called Justice League Revisited, where we
I would love to be part of that. Oh God, I'd love to be part of that.
Yeah, we
talk about Justice League.
It's been almost a year now, but we watch each episode in its original order of air date, and then we have on either the writer, the director. We had the musicians who did all the music. We've had Glenn Murakami who did the art for the first season.
Holy.
Phil Lamar. Everyone on the cast has been on so far. The original set. Well, obviously we lost Kevin, sadly, but
yeah.
But we did a great Kevin tribute episode too. So if you get the chance to go, it's called Justice League Revisited, wherever you get your podcast from. So having done the radio show now for a while, I've gotten to be friends with the voice actors for this. So Phil's coming in, Susan's coming in, Maria Canals Barrera is coming in. We're talking to George and we're talking to Carl still. Yeah. So, and we've got Dan Reba and Alan Burnett coming in. Dan Reba did the art storyboards and he directed several episodes. And Alan Burnett was the executive producer and writer on Batman Beyond and some of those animated series as well.
That was a great show. That was a great show, Batman Beyond. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
Yeah, it was fun.
I thought that was going to flop, and then I started watching it, and I was like, you know what? Because remember, it was coming out, I think it was like the same time as Justice League was on. So they kind of did that little crossover.
Justice League's on.
Yeah, is it Terry Guinness, right? That plays
Terry Guinness, yeah.
And he turns out to be I don't want to say anything to give anything away, I guess.
He turns out to be the sled.
Yeah. No. He has a closer relation to
that's what you call a Citizen Kane reference.
Yeah.
He has a closer relationship to Bruce Wayne than I originally thought. Let me put it that.
I knew it. It always goes back to Orson Welles, who would have been a great Joker.
Except he would have been winded every time he laughed.
Right.
We know
better Clayface.
We know Batman.
Or what's that one that has the puppet on his hand?
Oh,
Ventriloquist.
Yeah.
Ventriloquist, yeah.
What he was in real life, though, was probably the Riddler.
Yeah.
Riddle me this, Batman.
The movie
Where do
studios
beef
are like-
burgers come from? Who writes this dribble?
I knew you were going to spoof the blooper. I got to be in a fucking Transformers cartoon before I died. What the fuck?
From the vineyards of Ernest and Julio Gallo.
California has this champagne as well.
Austin, we do that again. What? What do you want me to do?
He would be a great Dr.
Isn't
Evil.
the waiter supposed to say something? Does he have a line?
Oh my God.
But yeah, so back to so if you want to mark your calendars for Memorial Day weekend 2025, we're doing that con in St. Charles. It's the number 2 Rivers Comic Con. We've got a website up. You can go check out the guests we've already announced. And
Roll Tide, baby. Roll Tide.
Guys, I just want you to know I met Kevin Conroy.
He was fantastic.
He was fantastic. He was a nice guy. I said something. I said, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have gotten into Batman again because, the movies were still coming out. But to me, his Batman is the ultimate Batman,
No, I met him in I think it was either 2014 or 2015 at a convention here in Des Moines.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had him on my show probably about four times, I want to say, but I got to interview him at Terrificon it was about 3 months before he died. None of us knew he was sick, and it was the last time I got to see him. And he still said, as we were leaving, he said, "Hey, I'll see you at the next one." And it just breaks my heart to know that was the last time I would ever see him.
Damn.
What year was that?
2022.
Yeah,
July 2022.
It was. What was it? It was. What killed him? It was cancer.
Yeah.
But I can remember just hearing that and then just going, "Oh my God!" He died.
I would have known. Yeah.
I just saw him like a year before. He looked great, but I think it might have been I think it was pancreatic or something, or I don't know.
Yeah, really, whatever it was fast because I know I didn't get a lot of details, but I also did
intestinal
to ask.
Cancer. Yeah.
Okay.
66.
Yeah, just missed his birthday by a matter of weeks.
Yeah, and then Mark Hamill had the saddest thing ever. I can't do it if he's not going to be there.
Yeah.
Oh, he wasn't going to be the Joker anymore. Yeah, I remember hearing about that.
But they just did the Crisis on Infinite Earths cartoon, and he put the voice down for the cartoon with him and Mark Hamill, and I think that's the last time he plays Batman animated.
Yeah, that'll be it with this third part of Crisis on Infinite Earth. I don't know if you got the chance to read his story that he wrote for DC Pride 2022 called Becoming Batman, but he wrote this kind of it's an anthology. It comes out every year, and it kind of focuses on the LGBTQ plus community in comics or the writers who are.
That's nice. I like that.
And he wrote this story about becoming Batman, how he was it was kind of a known secret that he was gay in Hollywood, but not a lot of people were nice to him about it, and how he informed how he approached Batman. It's this beautiful story. He won posthumously the Eisner Award for that story.
Oh, that's great.
Absolutely fantastic. So Kevin Conroy is an Eisner Award winning writer as well.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I gotta jump off. Do you guys need anything else from me, or?
We're going to press the ejection chair for all of us here momentarily, but thank you for being on, man. It's been a long time coming, and we're glad we could have some new blood.
No, thanks for having me. This is great. Like I said, if you're going to talk about one of my favorite film trilogies, I'm glad I can be part of this.
And remember,
Thank you again. It was fantastic to talk to all of you, and we'll do it again soon.
Yes. We'll let you know on some of the other upcoming chats, and remember, Austin Powers always wins. Or does evil?
Who knows?
Well, they both won in the end.
They both won in the end. They're playing by the same dude. Yeah. Thanks for being here.
The box office.
Oh, $1 million. Yeah.
Follow us on the web on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. The podcast is available on Podbean, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Anchor, Apple, and anywhere else podcasts are available. Feel free to review our show and leave comments on any of those sites. Thanks a million for listening.
It's a jacked up